So we want to create a method that implements code to create a new document in the document management system, and the method must return a Boolean value representing if the new document has been successfully created in the document management system. We also want to return the newly created document ID if the new document has been created successfully. So how can we possibly do this? We need to return two values from the method. In C# we are able to pass value types, like for example integers, to a method by reference. This means that when an argument is passed to a parameter that is marked as ref, and the value of the argument is changed within the method, the change to the variable passed into the relevant parameter by reference is reflected after the method is called from the calling code. This is similar to what happens with a reference-type variable, for example an array, but this is not the same thing. The ref keyword essentially allows a value-type variable, like for example an integer, to behave as though it were a reference type. Unlike a reference type that stores a pointer to its data that resides in a memory location on the heap, a value-type variable passed by reference to a parameter is still pointing to a location on the stack, but it points to the same stack location where data for the value-type variable passed by reference to the method is stored. So let's pretend that this method calls a web service to implement the code to create a new DMS document in the document management system and returns the ID of this new document to the calling code. We'll hard code the value of 8 to represent the document ID of the newly created document. And we return the Boolean value, which will be true if the web service call returns a value above 0. Okay, let's test this code from our main method within the Document Management System.NET Core console application project. First, we need to add a reference to our Document Management System API class library project. So click the Dependencies node under the Document Management System project node, then select the Document Management System API checkbox in the Reference Manager dialog box. Then let's include the Using Document Management System API directive below the Using System directive. This means that we can now directly refer to the members of the Document Management System API namespace within the Document Management System project without needing to include the Document Management System API namespace every time we refer to one of its members in code. So let's make sure the DMS class is public. Let's then instantiate an object from the DMS class by using the new keyword. Okay, so now let's test the createDocument method. We must make sure that we define an integer variable in the main method to pass by reference to our parameter marked with the ref keyword. This is so that we can retrieve the new document ID from our calling code in the main method once the new document has been created. Notice how we are using the method itself as a condition in the if statement. This is because we only want to execute certain code if a new document is successfully created. If a new document is successfully created, the method will return true, which means the if condition will return true. So we are going to write the integer variable passed in by reference to the createDocument method to the console screen. Let's test the code. And this demonstrates the use of the ref keyword successfully. The ID variable's value has been changed within the createDocument method from 0 to 8. And this change has been propagated through to the calling code. Let's go back to our DMS class and overload our createDocument method. So what does overloading mean? It essentially means we can name a method with the same name as an already existing method that exists in the same class. For example, we want to implement creating a new document slightly differently, but essentially the code is creating a new document, just like a method that already exists. This essentially gives the developer a choice when creating a new document as to which createDocument method should be used for this purpose. So let's say in our new createDocument method, we want to return the ID through the return keyword in the method and not by reference through an argument. Let's also say that the description field is not a mandatory field needed for creating a new document, so this version of the createDocument method will accept only one parameter, the name parameter. So we can create a method with the same name as the already existing createDocument method to overload the createDocument method. But the rule for overloading a method is that these two methods with the same name must have a different method signature. Note that for method overloading, the return type is not considered as part of the method signature. Also note that when dealing with delegates, which is beyond the scope of this tutorial, the return type is considered as part of the method signature. So we'll keep the logic in this code very simple and simply return the ID value, which is hard-coded to a value of 8. So let's call this overloaded method from the main method. And the result is as expected. Please download the code demonstrated in this tutorial from GitHub so that you can go through it at your own pace. Details of where you can download the code are provided below in the description. If you feel you have gained value from viewing this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel. There's much more valuable content to come that can enhance your knowledge of programming and technology. Please smash the bell icon to be notified of future content, which will be coming soon. Thank you and take care.